This episode, we're gonna talk about purpose, about rejection, about failure, about connection with God. I'm gonna start off with something that I wrote the other day, and I really loved it, and I hope you love it too. Let me read it for you. Never stop at the first or second closed door, because if you do, your journey ends up there, while there are thousands or millions of other open doors that are waiting for you. Imagine there's a straight pathway, which is your life. That pathway is your life, and there is thousands or millions of directions. Each direction to enter, it has a gate. Say that gate is something that you want to access. For example, a job that you want to have. So you want to have that particular job, and that gate is the job. That gate doesn't open, that means this job is not for you. And then you go to another gate that is opening. There is another job. That job is really meant for you and makes you happy. You should take next door and try the next door until you find a gate that is open, a door that is open. These things helps you so much because you can deal with things like rejection. And I wouldn't call it rejection because rejection sounds really bad or sad. I would call it something that's not meant for you, or this thing it was better not to do it or not to get it. This is how you can pass through things that you might think are good for you, but they are actually not good for you. So that's one of the things to how to deal with rejection, or like stuff that are not happening to you and you wish so much to happen. If it's not happening and that door or that gate is closed, that means it was not meant for you. I'm saying meant for you because there is one creator, one God, one consciousness, the one who created everything. Many they call it universe, you can call it the way you want. The thing is that it's only one, and he has created everything, and he has control over every single thing. The fact that he has control over your life, it's a proof enough to understand that he has control over everything. He has control over the rain, over the sun, over the moon, over the stars, or someone is born, has control when someone dies. He has control. The God, Allah, has control over everything. This is the main proof that the fact that you are born today, or someone is born today, or that someone died today and it was out of his hand, that's the proof that he is the one who is in control for everything. You have no control over the situations that happens to you. Human beings are too little in the front of Allah, of God, of the Creator, to decide for ourselves. There is a very beautiful dua, a very beautiful prayer. It's just like something that Muslims should say every day, and that is, "Oh Allah, do not let me decide for myself even for a blinking of an eye." Why is this? Why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us this dua, this remembrance that we must say it at least twice a day? Because we have to know it's not us who decide for our life journey. We might have the freedom to react of what it's happening in our life. Like, for example, a job is not meant for you. So God has decided that He won't assign that job for you. And then you start crying and getting so angry and frustrated and upset and everything else because you wanted it. But if you had the trust and the faith that God, He knows what's best for you, and God knows the seen and the unseen, you will be at peace with the fact that you didn't get that job. Let's say if there's a bad thing happened, but there are a lot of bad things that happen. Surah Al-Kahf that we have, I always remember the surah. Subhanallah, the Prophet told us to read Surah Al-Kahf every Friday because it's a remembrance of that, the Musa story in Surah Al-Kahf. Who read the Quran, they know that we might judge some things which we see, but we don't know what's behind it. Even something as the killing of a child. I'm not gonna explain to you here because I hope you read the Quran, Surah Al-Kahf, and the teachings of Al-Qadr and Prophet Musa alayhi salam. When you have that surah and ayat in your mind, even something as that cannot make you judge or cannot make you sad, because you know there is a God or a consciousness or a universe or whatever you call it, even though I can't agree with the universe because the God has created everything and even the universe. So it's not the universe. It doesn't make sense. The God knows better and best for everything, and therefore we have to be at peace with everything happens. We can't call it a failure anymore, because if that door is not opened, that means it was not meant for you at all. And if you look from this perspective at your life and you are at peace with everything that happens, whether you like it or not, then trust me, it's impossible. Your life will be at peace. You might have sad moments, you might have moments when you feel lost or you just have a lot of questions. But if you have patience, if you have the sabr, the patience, you will definitely find the answers for those things that bothers you for some time. That's the thing that I want to mention about failure. There's nothing called failure because if you believe in your creator, then there is nothing that can bothers you. I want to mention something about success as well. I like the notion of counting the success at the end of your life, if you know it, of course, when you get really old. Because if you count success all the time, every day, or every small project, or every arguing that you won, then you will lose the process. So the process is very important. You will succeed, and success means only if you are good to the people, that's a successful person. If you compete with others in goodness on all plans, you are a successful person. If you wake up every day morning and do your prayers, do your meditation, start by cleaning yourself, washing yourself, getting dressed, getting ready for the day, or if you're a mother, doing your mother chores. And I don't want to enter in this subject because it's so crazy out there. I just want to make a bit of comment on this thing. Nowadays, when they see on social media there's a woman that is cooking, like this Nara something, she's famous, she's cooking and having children and everything else. So they're like, wow, she's a trad wife, she's a trad woman. Like trad, I didn't know what means trad woman. Then they mention it's she's a traditional woman. What means traditional? Like what? Like cooking, cleaning, taking care of the home, taking care of your husband? That's a traditional woman? No, we do this. Real families and the good families, those families that they really know what family means, husband and wife, they know that is perfectly right. Like for me, being at home, cooking, cleaning, taking care of uh, everything else for my family, for my husband, that's very normal. And I do like a part-time job or something if I can do it until my children will grow up. And then if I want to do a full-time job, that's okay. I guess it's the movement, this new movement of feminism movement that has literally confused the young girls out there and make them believe that getting a job and be a badass boss will give them freedom. It would be like power or something. I don't know what was that for. Equal rights? I don't want equal rights. I mean, I want equal treatment, let's say, but not even that, because you can't treat a woman the way you treat a man. So I don't know what's equality. Like in front of God, we are equal anyways, as a human, as a behavior, But even the God knows that women are a bit different than the man, because he's our creator. And yeah, this confused women that has fought for this idea of feminism, nowadays they are so broken, and you can see them, they are so tired, they look tired. It's crazy. I don't want to enter into this. And then I said we will talk about purpose as well. I've seen a lot of famous people on social media that talked about purpose. And I really understood that they have no idea what they're talking about. First of all, I'm gonna explain to you what I've seen on social media and what I don't agree with, and then I'll give you the right and the only definition of human purpose. There's a lot of young people that, because the old people, they already like, they know it and they are not hanging on something like this. But young people, unfortunately, they are so lost, some of them, because think I don't have a purpose. I don't know what's my purpose. And they keep trying a lot of things, and they try to follow all this famous people on social media that sell things like how to find your purpose, podcasts on purpose, like Jay Shetty has a podcast which I actually don't agree with, because I mean there is some good stuff there, but I feel I'm sure he doesn't even know his purpose. What's the actual purpose of every human being? So I was saying that there is a lot of and I would say the truth, I was even trapped in this. I was searching for my purpose for a long time, and I was even depressed and got so much anxiety and felt so cornered that I reached a point where I felt useless, just because the fact that I didn't know my purpose. And I was trying everything. I was reading everything. I was doing literally my best to find what's my purpose, because everyone is selling things on the internet that says if you find your purpose, you'll find your happiness. And that's, if you think for a while, that doesn't even have sense. Because, first of all, the purpose, it's exactly copy and paste for every human being on earth. There is no other purpose than those two. There is two purposes for humanity, only two, and you don't have to find it because it's very easy. I mean, if you didn't know it, I can tell you. And yeah, I felt so sad many times because I didn't know what's my purpose, and I was searching and trying and trying, and I tried everything, from extreme sports to horse riding, taking care of horses. Like, I tried almost everything, scuba diving. I did a lot of things that were giving me a lot of adrenaline, and I didn't find my purpose. I had a child and I didn't find my purpose. Can you imagine? The women purpose is not being mothers. It's not being wives. No, that's not a purpose. So as I was saying, there is a lot of lost people out there, and there is a lot of people that sell this purpose thing. I even heard something from someone that has millions of followers, and again he was talking about purpose, and he was saying that purpose, it's living in the moment. It's not the purpose. Then the recent thing that I let me get more comfortable. Okay, the recent thing that I heard from someone I liked on the podcast. It's father and daughter podcast, and the father, he's so good talking, and she's also like very well spoken. She has this gift from God of talking really good and making the people listen to her very easy. So she was asking her father in the podcast that there is a follower that asked me what's the purpose, how we can find our purpose. And then her father replied to her, well, it's very simple, dear. The purpose is something that you are very good at, or you do it very easily, and you do it so well. And sometimes perhaps you might not recognize it, but everyone says that you're so good at it, and you say, no, I'm not that good, but you're good. And here I'm gonna come with an example. He was talking about her, like she always spoke so good and so easy. Like, for me, it's hard to make a podcast. For me, it's hard to make a conversation. I have dyslexia, and I have dyslexia. My memory, it's so short. I can't memorize even 2 sentences. I just speak from my mind. I can't read well because of the dyslexia, and I have ADHD, so I can't focus much. So comparing and I'm doing a podcast. She's also doing a podcast, but she's so good. She can memorize everything. She can speak so quick and so loud, and she's so good. She doesn't do pauses, and mashallah, 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 she's so good. She speaks amazing. She's an amazing speaker. So her father was referring to her that she was such an amazing speaker, and that's her life purpose. But when she was little, like she always spoke well since young age. But when she was little, she was saying, "No, that's not my purpose. I mean, no, I'm not that good speaker, or I'm not such a good writer, or I'm not such a good painter. But anyone else sees that you are so good at it, but you are saying like, oh no, I'm not really good." And then when you recognize it, that yeah, I'm so good at speaking, and a lot of people noticed that, and I became famous, and I made a career out of this, then that became your life purpose. I was so disappointed to hear that, because it didn't make sense. Like, what do you mean? You being a speaker, it's your life purpose? What if, God forbids, tomorrow you have a vocal cancer, or you lost your voice and you can't speak? How about your life purpose? What means? That means your purpose is gone? You have no purpose anymore? Someone else says, you know, being a good business person, that's your life purpose, you know. Then how if one day you fail in your business, your purpose is gone? Or no, that's a bad example actually. Being a writer, you are such a good writer. How if something mentally happened to you and you're not able to write anymore? Then your life purpose is gone? Okay, no, I have another really good example. A lot of people, they make their husbands or children or wives' life purpose. What if your, God forbids, spouse or children or mothers, fathers pass away, which is very normal? What if they are not in your life anymore? Then your purpose is gone? You know, some, they say being a mother is my purpose. God forbids, what if your child dies? Your purpose is gone? So this is why I'm saying it's very, very hard to find people that really guide you on the right path on the internet. And imagine, I'm talking about top famous people that has millions of followers, science, everything. They can't get this little thing right, and I mean about the purpose. And now I'm gonna give you the definition of purpose. Purpose, no wait, I swear I don't do it on purpose. I just want to give you one more example about something else, and then I'll give you the definition of purpose. So because I was talking about social media and these famous people, there is one Emirati woman that everyone started to admire and take her as an amazing woman, and she found her purpose. Okay, she found her purpose, and she's going on all the podcasts, and she's talking about purpose, and she's talking about being feminine, not feminine, what do you call this? She's like this feminism movement, she's fighting for that. So previously she was I loved her so much. She was very like normal. She was looking very beautiful, and she had a boyfriend. She was married, then she divorced, then she got a boyfriend, and she's also a mother. So at the beginning she was talking really nice, and I liked her way and the way she looked. And then suddenly she became more famous and more famous, and then she dramatically changed. She was wearing a scarf on her hair. She removed that. That was even better, actually. Astaghfirullah. Then she was wearing like normal clothes, like what I wear. And then she removed that as well. And then she fully tattooed her arms. Then she put a piercing in her tongue that whenever she speaks, everybody can see it. She wears those chicken long nails, the ones that are really long and pointed. And then she lifted her face at the point that she was looking unnormal, like there is something wrong with her. Then she adopted another style of clothing. And then, okay, my point is that she was talking about purpose. She was talking about meaning in life. She was talking that she's so secure on herself, and she knows what she wants, and she knows what, like, she got this freedom, and she's a free person. And to be honest, what she's doing, like, she's secure. Like, you can do those things that she did to herself. I forgot to talk about the lips. She put a lot of injection all over her face, and her lips went like crazy. So she's talking in the same time about being confident. If you are confident in yourself, you can't do those stuff to yourself. Literally, you can't do these things to yourself. Destroy your body with a ink that at 80 will look like like, oh my god, I can't even imagine, so bad on you. And you have a child that you are the example of your child, and then you put that piercing that everyone can imagine whatever, because there's a lot of crazy people out there. And then you lifted your beautiful face because you were so beautiful, and then you put that crazy lips, botox for yourself, and you talk that you're confident and you know your purpose. Oh my god, please do not let your children to watch this kind of things, because they can damage their future for life. Even though I believe that things can be repaired, there is very few people that knows what purpose means. And with that being said, she's not the only one in the situation. There is a lot of people out there who look the same, and they talk about purpose, and they talk about confidence and figuring out their life, and giving so many examples to a lot of young people out there. The purpose, we as human beings, we have only two purposes. Number one purpose is to worship God, only one God, one creator, one consciousness. This is the number one purpose of every human being on earth. The second purpose is to compete one another in goodness in order to be seen by God. So these are our only purposes in life. There is no other purpose. You might be a good speaker. You might be a great business person. You might be an amazing mother or father. You might be an amazing daughter. You might be an amazing speaker. I don't know. Oh, I thought I said speaker already. You might be amazing in your field. That's something, it's a gift from God. God gifted you something and you can use it for making a good income for yourself, for living a good life, for enjoying the things that you do. It's your job, literally. It's something that you are really good at, but that's not your life purpose. The life purpose has to be eternal. The life purpose never dies because it's life purpose. It's lifelong purpose. It's infinite, and that's the God. The only thing that never dies, the only thing that always lived and is in us. All of us, we have the breath of God in us, the consciousness, a piece of consciousness, a piece of God in our hearts, in our souls. So that's inside us, and that's worshiping one God. How to worship one God? By remembering Him in everything you do, from waking up in the morning, being grateful for what you have, being grateful for whatever happens to you, having patience with whatever happens to you, loving your family, loving the nature, being a good person, loving the other, know how to forgive, learn how to forgive. Remind Him when you eat and be grateful for the food that you have, for the clothes that you have. If you are suffering in some part of the world, have the patience and know that you will be rewarded by God for the suffering you are suffering. That's the life purpose. When you have this as life purpose, you can never search for something else, because even though you'll be searching for a life purpose, you'll never find it, because the only purpose in life is worshiping God in everything you do in your life. I hope you understand this ideology. It's not an ideology. I think it's a clear message from God, from the Creator, for those who believe there is one God that has created everything. So yeah, I hope you understand this, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.